Hello, in this video we're going to take a look at a truly fabulous Google Chrome extension called Grammarly. Grammarly does have a paid edition that extends the capability even further, but for now let's look at the Chrome extension. So I've gone to the Chrome Web Store, simply searched for Grammarly, and you'll see that the extension is listed and I can add it to Chrome. After a few minutes that's done and the icon appears here. And it's going to ask you to create a free account. If you skip this step, you won't be able to use Grammarly. Okay, so you must register with the site itself. And I'll do that now and pause the video for a second and come back to you. Once you complete your account registration, you'll be brought to this confirmation page, and I want to call your attention to this section over here. Grammarly currently works on Facebook, Gmail, LinkedIn, and millions of other sites, but it does not currently work in Google Docs or Dropbox. So that's unfortunate, but they're working on that, and it will become absolutely a must-have once that's in place. But in the meantime, there's ways to work around it that are not too arduous, and we'll take a look at those now. Okay, so I will actually return to Google Docs where I have some text written. Now you notice it's installed in my menu up at the top, but there's a little circle, red circle with a line through it, and that's never a good sign. When I click on it, it tells me that Drive is not supported. For now, please use the Grammarly editor. So let's see how that works. Okay, I'm going to have to install it. And right now it's downloading a file, so I think I'll just go to downloads for that. Okay, there's the setup file. I can double click that and do the install on my machine. Now, of course, you may be limited at your district in doing this yourself. You may have to contact tech support to see if they'll allow it. But a good case can be made for this. So it's definitely worth exploring the opportunity or the chance. Okay, once installed, it will ask us to log in. I'll get a little welcome message, and it will let me page through some pages giving me a tour. And it will give me the option to import a file. Well, I really don't have a file to import, so what I'm going to do is take my Google Doc, and this is where it's a little bit inconvenient. I can copy and paste this into a Word file. I mean, alternately, I could come into Google Drive itself and simply download it. It's going to download as a Word file, so I'll just leave it in my downloads folder for the moment. And now I can upload that Word file. I left that in downloads. There you go. Let's take a quick look at the menu bar on the left. The little house, of course, means home. When I come back, I can find now that the document is here. So I could throw it away if I don't want it. I could download it, but I can just click on it to go in and see the results. Also, from this window, now that I'm in here, I can create a new document. So creating a new document, I can type it or I can cut and paste. So this would be another way to, or copy and paste rather. Use my Control V there, and I have the same information now in this particular page. It took a second, and now it's going to offer me some suggestions. Okay, so if I come back to, put a title in here. If I come back home now, you'll see that I have both of these documents. So as I said, you can upload, you can click New. Okay, you can also download. So you can copy for copy and paste or download from here. This is your tool set. Let's take a look at those for a second. One, the specialty checking is a great tool. It's going to look at the style of writing and see how relevant that is to a particular type of writing situation. But that's a premium feature, so this is something we're not going to use. Contextual spelling. And we have little, when we mouse over, we'll get little help icons, little question marks that'll let us know exactly what these things do. So this is basic spelling errors, or spelling errors in the wrong context. So using a version of a word that doesn't belong where it does. And it gives you examples right there. Grammar, subject, verb agreement, misused articles, etc. You can read through those. Punctuation. Sentence structure, misplaced words, faulty word order, etc. And style, checks for potential problems in writing style. So these are all different things that I can turn on. Additional features in premium, which we'll get to in a second. Here's one, plagiarism. Okay, so if you're paying for this version, you can have this document checked to see if it too closely resembles another document in their database, and that is a premium feature. Okay, let's come back to the main menu for a second. You'll see that there's a 1 next to contextual spelling, and that's just telling me that it identified what it thinks might be one mistake, and that's this word web pages. I can tell because it's underlined. I click on it, and it's going to give me the explanation. Did I mean web space pages, which I believe is the correct spelling in this case? The word web pages doesn't seem to fit in this context. Consider replacing it. So I can ignore it, which I don't want to do right now because I don't want to lose that edit, or I can simply make the change. Then you're going to see that goes away. Notice at the bottom it has a little message that says there are 3 advanced issues. So there are 3 things it thinks could be better here, but of course that's a premium service and I would have to upgrade in order to get that. It also gives me a word count, which is handy from, in a very simple way. Let me reintroduce that error by taking out this space so we can look at this menu again. It'll take a second to analyze the page, and I get my error back. I can simply close, I can choose to ignore the error. As I said, I can simply close the window, and that's going to do the same thing, so I have to be careful about that. If I do choose to ignore it, that error is going to be gone. Okay, and I will have lost my opportunity to edit it. See? I've basically approved it from this standpoint. Also, a vocabulary enhancement, which is a premium service, and professional proofreading. Another premium service, and this is where it would be actually sent out to a proofreader, and would be much more appropriate were I publishing things professionally. I might want to consider that. Also, down at the bottom, there's a question marks that will lead you to either tutorials or support. Let me come back home for a second. So this duplicate is something I don't need, so I'm going to throw that in the trash. And I'm going to take another document in here, something that's got a few more errors so we can see how it actually works. So I've written a short document. I'm going to click New in Grammarly, and I'm going to go get the text. Let's just say text with errors. We'll call it, and I did it in a Google Docs, so I'm going to copy that. You can see that Google itself has identified plenty of errors in there. Okay, and here we go. In collapsed view, it's giving me a list of my errors. So if I click on here, they're suggesting that learnt be changed to learn, so that was just probably a spelling mistake somewhere. Clicking on it will make the substitution. Grammarly should have been capitalized. Okay, so some spelling mistakes, mostly spelling mistakes. Here's one. It's finding a subject-verb agreement problem. A duplicated word, which happens more often than you think. So again, I can click on that and do the substitution. Great tool for students to clean up their work, but you should at least know it's out there, because a motivated student could be doing this, could be cleaning up their own writing in this way rather than doing it themselves, and really no way for you to tell. Okay, so if they're doing this at home before they're writing or submitting papers, then they would be probably submitting some improved papers. Now let's take a look. Okay, so right now there are no errors. If I had, here you go, put that back in its original form, it would list out the errors here. So there are 6 spelling errors, 1 grammar error. I want to call your attention to something. It can help you with your spelling, punctuation, and grammar. While it caught the spelling error, it did not, in this case, catch the punctuation error, that this is actually a list. There we go. And that there should at least be a comma after spelling. So it's certainly not perfect, but it is a tool that very, very useful for a quick scan of some basic types of writing errors.